Thank you, Anne. Our second Wall of Fame inductee tonight was a member of the last class to graduate from TUCS, the class of 1997. Holly Brzezinski will be inducted this evening for her multifaceted prowess in the field of athletics. Holly is a young lady who has reinvented herself as a fierce athletic competitor more times than Madonna has changed her appearance. Fortunately, Holly's accomplishments have been much less controversial than Madonna's, and in our opinion, much more versatile. Let's have a look at those 90s in Holly's world. 1997. O.J. Simpson found guilty in civil suit. Cost of a stamp, 32 cents. Cloning of Dolly the sheep. World Series, Florida Marlins defeat the Cleveland Indians. Stanley Cup, Detroit Red Wings over Philadelphia Flyers. Deaths of Princess Diana and Mother Teresa. Last class to graduate from TUCS. TMSS opens its doors. Top movies from 1997, Full Monty, As Good as It Gets, Titanic, Men in Black, Good Will Hunting, Oscar for Best Picture, The English Patient. Top songs, Bop, Hanson, Wannabe, Spice Girls, I Want You, Savage Garden, I'll Be Missing You, Puff Daddy, Candle in the Wind, Elton John, Time of Your Life, Green Day. The 1997 TUCS class song was Tonight Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins. Please enjoy listening to the class song as performed by the Adams Project.
Time is never time at all. You can never ever leave without leaving a piece of youth. And our lives are forever changed. We will never be the same. The more you change, the less you feel. Believe in me. Believe. Life can change if you're not stuck in vain. We're not the same, we're different. Tonight, so bright. Tonight, tonight. And you know you're never sure, but you're sure you could be right if you held yourself up to the light. And the embers never fade in the city by the lake, in the place where you were born. Believe in me. Believe. is possible tonight. Believe in me as I believe in you. Tonight, 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 tonight.
Thank you, Scott and Dave. Without question, the people and the events that surround us impact who we become. Born in Tisdale on September 2nd, 1979 to Stan and Linda Raczynski, Holly had an early start into athletics at the age of 3, as her parents were among the first to coach the Tisdale Gymnastics Club. The club was initially run out of the Centennial Junior High School, then moved to the gym on Main Street, which was operated by Stan and Linda. By the age of 5, Holly had won first all-round in her inaugural competition, and the stage, or should I say the gym, was set for a stellar athletic career. The club, eventually known as the Tisdale Twisters, found a home at the Recplex, and Holly went on to become provincial all-round gymnastics champion in 1992 at the age of 12, and a member of the 1994 Western Canadian team, which earned a bronze team medal. When she finished competing, Holly went on to coach other athletes through grades 11 and 12, and dabbled in coaching at the University of Calgary after her graduation from TUCS in 1997. Clearly, her own experiences taught her that knowledge and expertise is most valuable when it is shared with others, and she made that commitment early in her life. Since then, Holly's athletic skills have led to an impressive array of accomplishments in other competitive athletics, including bodybuilding and martial arts, as well as ventures into stunt doubling in film and movies. While Holly was completing her grade 12 in Tisdale, she spent some time at the gym in Nipawin, where she became interested in bodybuilding, and soon after entered the provincial bodybuilding competition in March of 1997. Holly returned from the Saskatchewan Novice Classic Bodybuilding Championships with a 3rd place finish all around in the women's division and top honors as the women's best poser. At 17 years of age, she had the distinction of being the youngest female competitor in this province's history. Her trainers were Michael Woodward and Joyce Lance from Nipawin. 1997 was apparently a huge year for Holly. In addition to coaching gymnastics and competing in bodybuilding, she began her martial arts training that year in Calgary under the mentorship of Todd Johnson. Holly is ranked in Shotokan Karate, kickboxing, and ITF Taekwondo, competing as a member of Team Canada under both the World Kickboxing and the Canadian Martial Arts Associations. Her achievements in this field are so far-reaching that it would be impossible to provide a detailed account in words. But we will display them on the screen to my right, and I will attempt to convey the essence of it. Nationally, Holly first competed in 2006 at the Canadian Jingwu Open and the World Kickboxing Association Nationals, where she received first in women's forms and point fighting at both competitions, and 3rd in women's continuous fighting at WKA Nationals. I'm not sure what any of these really entail, but they all sound daunting to me, and continuous fighting sounds downright scary. But that's obviously me and not Holly, as she attended Nationals again in 2007, this time in Quebec. At this competition, she won gold in both fighting and continuous kickboxing, something that would sound no less frightening to the layperson than continuous fighting does. And yet, Ever the competitor, Holly also participated in international competitions during 2006 and 2007 with equally impressive results. In 2006, Holly returned from Tiger Balm Internationals with a first in point fighting and second in hardstyle forms, from the World Open Martial Arts Games with first in point fighting and kickboxing, making her women's grand champion, and from the World's Karate and Kickboxing Association competition in Spain with fourth in point fighting. In 2007 international competitions, Holly brought home more hardware. She won first in kickboxing and third in point fighting on the US World's Open NASCA circuit, and fourth in point fighting and silver in continuous kickboxing at Worlds in Germany. This past June, in spite of a concussion she sustained while training, Holly tested for her third-degree black belt in karate. We will give you the opportunity to see what this entails as you view the video stream on the screen. While this is certainly the point at which most of us would decide to find an easy chair and ruminate over past glory, Holly began to cast about for a new challenge, and it is no surprise that to us she found one. Her martial arts training lent itself perfectly to her next reinvention of herself, and so she became a stunt double and actor in film and movies. The seeds of this career had already been sown back in 2007 when Holly became a stunt double for the character of Victoria Pratt in the television movie Hush, Little Baby. Followed over the next 2 years by stunt work in television, she appeared in Fear Itself, the episode The Circle, and in Smallville, the episode titled Sleeper. She also worked in 2009 as a stunt actor in movies Watchmen and Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Her work on Smallville actually required her to perform a spinning hook kick in stilettos and an evening gown. Yikes. Most of us can't even walk in stilettos and would not likely be required to perform a hook kick under any circumstances. At this point, Holly attracted the attention of 8711, a Los Angeles-based stunt group that had worked on such productions as The Matrix and Fight Club. Holly recalls that although they were impressed with her skills, she had no actual acting ability because that was something she had never done before. She says, "They told me, okay, pretend to take a hit." And I thought, pretend? If you just hit me, it would be easier. But that's not the way it works. Film fighting is a lot different from real fighting. Then came the call for Disney's Tron Legacy. They needed someone who had a gymnastic and martial arts background and was exactly Holly's size, so she was a perfect fit for the job. Once on the set, she and the rest of the stunt team rehearsed for a month, during which she mapped out fight sequences and trained with stylized weapons, including a light disc and sword. Then she began collaborating with Olivia Wilde, best recognized from the TV series House. As Holly puts it, anytime she's taking a beating in the movie, it's me. Holly performed all the fights, falls, and close calls deemed too dangerous for the actress to attempt to do. Holly speaks highly of the actors with whom she worked, but reports that the battery-powered Tron costumes were decidedly more difficult, as they were so complex and difficult to get into, that she and the others required assistance. As we eagerly await the release of Tron Legacy this coming December, let's take a glimpse. Holly earned a Bachelor of Kinesiology and was until very recently employed as Program Coordinator of the Provincial Martial Arts Association in Calgary, specializing in recreational and competitive children's programming. Holly has just moved to BC with her partner Wyatt McDonald, who she describes as her biggest supporter, and her dog Gus, who is just plain big. In fact, Holly's mom commented on Gus' pictures and said that it is easy to see Holly doesn't like to do anything in a small way. From the halls of TUCS to the successful achievement of her many endeavors as an accomplished gymnast, as a martial arts competitor and instructor, and as a stunt double in film and movies, Holly has proven that high personal standards, the pursuit of excellence, and a willingness to risk uncharted territory can bring amazing results. It is with great pride tonight that we salute the outstanding accomplishments of this young woman. Please join me in welcoming Holly Kaczynski.
I feel a little bit unprepared after hearing Anne's wonderful speech that she gave. I definitely don't have quite as much to say. I want to thank everybody that put all of this together. You guys made me look really, really great. I may need a copy of that when applying for my next stunt job, so that's awesome. A lot of people seemed surprised when I first told them that I made it into a Walt Disney movie, one of the biggest budget movies that they've done to this date, and a lot of comments were somebody from such a small town to work on such a big movie seemed like a very huge accomplishment, and my perspective is quite the opposite. I feel that growing up in Tisdale is what provided me with all the opportunities and support that I needed to accomplish all the goals that I achieved. Most of all, I would like to thank my family. It's well overdue for sure. Luckily, they were all able to make it back to Tisdale this weekend with me to celebrate this. It's very fitting that we had this ceremony presentation in this gym. I spent many hours with my family doing all my gymnastics training in this facility, probably close to half of my life growing up in here. So starting off, my dad couldn't ask for a more amazing coach and supporter and encourager of everything I've ever done. Thank you so much. I couldn't have achieved any of this without you. Then my mom and the gymnastics judge, the hair braider, the coach, the organizer of all the events, and the one that, held our family together and kept everything moving forwards all the time. Just want to thank her. And then of course my sisters, Rhonda and Leanne, I need to thank them for teaching me how to do cartwheels before I could walk. And for all the endless times that we would be playing / training gymnastics in the basement, the backyard, over at the swimming pool, on the bars, and basically anywhere that we could find anything that resembled a balance beam or any type of gymnastics equipment. Without you guys, none of the achievements there would have been possible, so thank you very, very much for your support. Moving on, I hope that being in the Hall of Fame and having my picture on the wall and my achievements and everybody else's, I hope that it encourages anybody else that grows up and gets to go to school in Tisdale. It encourages them to push hard to achieve any goals that they may have, and not to look at growing up in a small town as a disadvantage, but use it to your advantage as much as you can, because it's an amazing place to be from. I'm very proud to say that I'm from Tisdale, just like Anne was stating. It's a great place to be from and to come back to, and I don't wish for a second that I grew up anywhere else, and just want to thank you guys so much for honoring me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly.